Thursday morning, 6:41. We came to work at 6. Got our truck pre-tripped and checked in with setup. They gave us 5 full container loads of solar panels headed out to the solar farm. So this is on one of the runs that's going to be happening every day for the next month. That's 10 hours of work if everything goes smoothly, which rarely does everything go smoothly. For example, before we can start on that, we need to go pick up a container that's been stuck inside the Hickam Air Force Base now since, let's see, it's on the community list. It's number 3. It's been there since 5/19. 5/19 of last year, I guess. And it's in a high security area, which means I gotta find somebody to escort me in. And well, this is the rush hour traffic trying to get into the base at 6 something in the morning. This is the gate where all the commercial traffic gets into Pearl Harbor. And this time of day, everybody's trying to go to work, so not the best time of day to try to get into Pearl Harbor, but we need to get this container taken care of. And it seems like several drivers have tried, and so now they're sending me. I tend not to give up. It might take me an hour or two, but I'm going to find somebody who can open the gate to get me to the container. And I know the areas, I kind of know what the situation is. Sometimes you actually got to call up base security and have them escort you. So if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. So we'll get that done, and then we'll start working on the solar panels, and depending on how things go, more than likely late in the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock, I'll get some help and we'll get it finished. In the meanwhile, like I say, local trucking isn't about actual truck driving. It's more about waiting in these lines to get in and out of bases and shipping terminals and job sites. And every day's an adventure. But yeah, we're working on our first movement. We haven't gotten to it yet, but we're bobtailing there. Well, we failed at our mission. We weren't able to pick up our empty 45-foot container. We went to the job site, looked all around and couldn't find it, so we called up a contact person, who, come to find out, wasn't even a contact person for the company that we delivered for. Basically what happened was an elevator company and a construction company working together on a project. When the project was over many months ago, the construction company borrowed the elevator company's container, put all their tools in it, and moved it to a different job site, not in the Hickam Air Force Base, but over in Pearl Harbor, inside the shipyard, in probably one of the most secure areas within the Pearl Harbor base. Meaning, for me to get in there, I'd spend a whole day just going through security checks to get my truck and myself verified that I could go into it. So they had a driver that already had gone through the security process, and he just took it in there and dropped off all their tools and stuff in there. And basically it's been sitting in there now with us unable to get to it because Our paperwork says that it's over on the Hickam Air Force Base, and every driver that goes there can't find it. So at least now I got an idea of what's going on, and we know what has to be done. Somebody has to just bring it outside that secure area. We can pick it up. But anyway, that took a while. So we ran over to the Navy Supply Distribution area because we're in the neighborhood, why not? We picked up an empty from them. We're going to take that back to the shipping terminal, St. Island, so we can get started on my 5 loads of solar panels going out to the Eva Beach area. CIA-controlled industrial area. But we didn't take it in there. So head on down to the waterfront. After which we'll check in with dispatch, see what else they got. It's 2:20 in the afternoon. The shipping terminal closes at 3:45, so we got time to do one more. Or maybe pick up an LTL and bring it back to the yard. Sure, we'll find something to do. Has to do with that can at Pearl Harbor that we weren't able to pick up this morning. Just kind of irritates you after you find out what's going on. Anyway, so we got a hold of dispatch. He says he's got an LTL over in Delta 19, Snow 38. Just ahead here on the left. That'll make this the 9th movement of the day, probably the last movement of the day. LTL freight coming off the Monday ship, headed back to our terminal. this container. Turn on the lights and the four ways. The solar field is messing up my truck. By the end of the week, I'm going to be covered in mud. The problem is it's raining every morning. It's nice now, but it rains every morning, nice and heavy. All the way in, that's when it's locked. All the way out here would be open. If there was somewhere in between, it would be open also. All that mud. Marker light. Hopefully 4 inflated tires. Yeah. Pin lock. Closed, but not locked. Good. Mud flap. Seal. Trash. Looks good. Again, closed but not locked. Now I can't open. Looks almost like 2 different size tires. But they're all inflated. Marker light. Nope, that's gonna be an easy one. I carry the tools and I know how to change these handles, but I'm not always willing to do it. Sometimes it's easier just to take it to the mechanics. This one's closed and locked. Everything looks good. We'll do a brake test, and then we'll take it back to our terminal, put it on in the open dock. When I pull forward, some people call this the Johnny bar, and what it does is it engages the brakes on the trailer. In other words, it energizes that blue line with air and causes the brakes on the trailer to go. And one of the things you can do with this is, let me show you. You can use that to check your brake lights. Pulling that bar, I'm going to turn off all the lights, turn off the four-way, turn off the marker lights, and I just pull on that. That should energize the brake lights. This is how you check the brake lights. Brake lights. You can do it on the trailer too. I don't normally do this, but this is how you do it. This is the correct way. back here. Should have brake lights. So everything's working. But that's how you check the brake lights, independent from the marker lights and the turn signal lights. But what we want to do is make sure that the truck, the trailer, that the brakes are actually working. So to do that, you just pull forward a little bit. Helps if you release the brakes on the trailer. Pull forward a little bit, and then engage the trailer brakes. And it brings us to a stop, so we know that the trailer brakes are working. Trailer is good to go on the road. It's a 4-mile trip from here to our terminal, so I'm not too worried about the messed up tires. The fastest we're going to go is maybe 35 miles an hour. Yeah, making our way back to our terminal. That's it, it's 3:10, we can shut them down. And a pretty interesting day. We did some work, that's for sure. Came in at 6, we'll be out of here by 3:15. We did 9 movements, 9 movements, we drove 172 miles. Got the word that the solar farm project is going to be closed tomorrow for a Good Friday. So I'll be doing the big box transfer run from the big box over to the off-site warehouse. That's a 5 o'clock start time. 6 o'clock pickup, stand by at the off-site warehouse, and then take the dunnage or the empty container into the shipping terminal. It's a nice, easy run. A lot of standby time. At least an hour's worth. If everything is, call my mom and watch Netflix. So yeah, all in all, pretty good day. I'm kind of worried about that Cannon Pearl Harbor. It bugs me when I can't get something done. And I know if I had the time, which I didn't have the time, I could call my friends and say, hey, is there a tractor around who's got that pass that can get into the industrial area and bring that can out to me. I have enough contacts to do that, but that takes an hour to 2 hours sometimes to get that done. And we just didn't have that time today. If I had known going in, I could have worked on it right away, but I had to find out from scratch what was going on. Listen to the radio today, see what the news of the day is, but man, it's just nothing but politics. And I don't know about you, but I listen to politics, but I'm constantly changing the station. Like, can't you guys find something else to talk about? Politics is politicians. That's the art of trying to convince somebody that your idea is better than what their idea is. It's politicking. Trying to convince people to do things your way, which is difficult. So I would never want to be a politician, because to me there's two types of people in the United States. There always has been. When we declared our independence from Great Britain, half the nation wanted to do that and half the nation did not. And that has not changed in the 200 and some years that we've been a nation. There's still half the nation that want to be Americans and half the nation that doesn't. And I don't care what party people are a part of. What gets me the most is people that don't vote. Because the way I was taught in school is that as a citizen of the United States, I have just two obligations. Number one is to vote, and number two is to serve on a jury duty. That fulfills my obligations to the country as a good citizen. I mean, you can also, serve in the armed forces and stuff like that, but every American is supposed to vote and serve on jury duty. And if you haven't done that, then my feeling is, well, you're probably not that great of a citizen yet, do it. Vote and do your part. And I think there's a whole bunch of people in the middle that aren't part of, independents like myself, that don't vote, that just, don't want to get involved. And I think that's probably the biggest problem with the country right now, is there's so many people that just won't get involved. So both sides have to speak for those people in the middle that aren't speaking. And it creates all this bickering. If everybody would vote, we'd know where we stand, right? At least that's my feeling. Yeah. Anyway, we're headed home. Turn off all this noise. Truck ran well, but it's really muddy now. I'll bring the bucket of water with me tomorrow, because standby time I can wash it down. So they give you a truck yet, Paul?
I said I might be getting 333.
Oh, that's what Gaylor's driving. That's a spare truck, yeah.
I was just looking for his back.
No, he's doing a run for me out in the solar farm out in Eva Beach.
Oh.
So.
Is that one a longer one or a shorter one?
It's a 8600, so it's like this one here in front on the right. That you know what, an 8600 Internationalist. So both of these are 8600s in front of us here.
Oh, okay.
So 332 and 333 are almost identical. In fact, you could probably use the keys for either one of them.
Oh, okay. I just heard that the shorter ones are just more easier for like making the U-turns.
Yeah, the amazing part of those trucks is that steering is just amazing. They turn really, really tight. So this truck can do it too, but it's not because of the steering. It's because the wheelbase is so short. This has got a super short wheelbase. The truck in front of us it's probably about 12 inches longer, but the steering system is a lot nicer. It's like driving a car.
Yeah, the other company they had they're called super singles.
Yeah.
And you'd be lucky if it turned at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, those big tires on the front. Eh?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
No, you'll like that. What I don't like about the 8600 is it's got a really small motor in it. So it'll get really hot going up hills.
Oh, you gotta keep an eye on that.
Keep an eye on it, yeah. You'll get to the top of the hill and the smoke will be coming up. All your oil that's on your valve covers and stuff will get cooked off.
I just heard a lot of these trucks no more AC. I'm hoping.
You got to get on the mechanics. If squeaky hinge gets the oil, you just got to go in there once a week and say, hey, it's summertime. I'm dying here.
Maybe put it down on the...
And then find out what they say, and then go higher up and say, this is what the mechanics are telling me. Can we get something done? You gotta, because they're busy doing all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, I was talking to Shane today, because I've had my CDL since 2010.
Right.
So all this driving around, all the highway driving, is nothing new to me.
Right.
But like all the paperwork, that's definitely new stuff. But like I was asking if I can get a day, maybe just like if whoever's doing the piers all day.
Right.
Maybe just get some, the backing in the tight spots.
Right.
I know that's where I'm gonna fall short a little bit.
Well, I would say if you want to practice that, if you can get good here in the yard, you'll find out in the community it's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
So just practice in the yard. Maybe at the end of the day, ask the warehouse if you can move the containers out the dock and park them for them.
Well, that one weekend, what's his name? Jason was here, and he wanted me to, and I was like, well, I didn't go over that with Shane, and
Right.
I don't want something to happen, and
Right.
But because I don't mind helping out the big trucks and all the loading.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you'll get it. I mean, right now you're the low man, so they're gonna send you wherever they need you.
Yeah.
But if you're worried about the tight places we go, this yard is tighter than anywhere we go. So if you get good in here, and you can, take your time in here and play around a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see it, because Jason might come down. He says wash this truck.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try to pick up the old beat up trailer, just pull it in and out a few times.
Right. Yeah, the thing about the intermodal, you can't hurt them. I mean, they're made for being banged together, you know.
Yeah. Because where we worked at before, you know, the job sites we go to, we have all the clearance. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They make all the room.
Yeah.
For us.
I never worry about really hitting anything at job sites. I worry about getting stuck in the mud at job sites. It's always muddy. Like, look at my truck right now. It's like.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can tell anybody who's been going to the solar panel job sites got mud all over their trucks.
That's good to hear. It's got sharp steering. I was just so amazed when I was riding with Justin P. His truck.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, what's this guy doing? And we're getting like within 10 feet, and all of a sudden he just whips it around.
Yeah.
And it's like, these tires are turning.
Yeah. The 8600s are amazing when it comes to turning. That's probably one of their best features.
I was like, how's this guy gonna make it?
Yeah. It drives a lot like a smaller truck. It shifts really fast. You got it. Where this truck here shifts really slow, so you got to out of gear, second, into gear. Those things, it's almost like a speed shift. You got to boom, boom, or much faster.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do with the smaller motor or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. Don't need no speeding tickets.
Yeah, it's just the shifting from gear to gear. It seems a much faster. What do you call it? Sequence or cadence. The cadence is much faster. Yeah, that truck's a beast. I mean, you get used to that truck. All the other trucks are going to seem super easy because just the length is really the hard part there. And then anything that's got that headache rack on it becomes a pain in the ass also.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can see the window, but the window's like up here. So you got to like get up to look through the... I don't like that truck. I drove it one day. That was enough for me. There's a lot of work in the big trucks because you got to go back and forth a lot more than you would in the small trucks. Like you were saying with those super singles, they don't turn as tight. So.
Yeah, because I remember we had the flatbed trying to like back the trailer in, and if you got it just a little bit too much and turn it all the way, you're gonna it'll never catch up. It'll just
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
So you gotta keep pulling forward, yeah. Yeah, that's what it's like with those big trucks.
But when I saw these trucks, I could make a U-turn in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, all the 8600s will do that. This truck will do it, but some of the new Freightliners that they're bringing in can't do that.
I was looking at the trailer's back wheels. They were turning so sharp that the wheels came to a stop.
And we're going sideways.
Going backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out trying to take a peek.
Yeah, he should be back probably within half hour or so.
Does he normally?
He drives 339. I don't know where that is right now. It's a newer truck, but it must be down right now because he's been driving 333, which is a spare.
All right, well, I think we're done for the day.
Yeah, I hope so. We're headed home. We're going to make a tofu stir fry for dinner tonight. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Aloha.